Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Just Goal Setting. I still love doing my plan with me's, my weekly plan with me's. I have to say, it's just the one thing that I can just sit down and do, and it's so easy for me to do. And I want to thank you guys all for following along with that. I do separate out my monthly goals, and so this is going to be going over my February. I did previously kind of do a big reset at the beginning of the year to include January. And so this is kind of just one of those like mini check-ins, and I have to say I'm like really excited about this one. Maybe not so much that you're going to see, unfortunately, but I'll talk about what I'm excited about. I'm implementing some other financial resets and social resets. I've been doing those behind the scenes anyway, but I have kind of a new spreadsheet that I've been using for financial stuff that I've been loving. I can link to it. It's through someone on Etsy, and it has like, I do have some apps that suck in your information, so you can view it all online. I used Mint for a long time. I don't like that. I don't like them seeing everything, that all my transactions. So I went for this paid service the last couple years called Monarch, and loved it because you could like put emojis for everything, and I loved categorizing everything that way. But mid last year, they just could not keep all of my transactions correct. The way my credit union like posts, and then like it does a pending post and takes it away and puts it back, which I thought was kind of normal for like all transactions, but something, they're just not compatible with it. So I'm moving on to this spreadsheet, and I'm doing like backups of it because because it's more of like, well, what if it gets messed up or something. So but it shows like annual dashboard and like monthly dashboards and all the things I had already been tracking, but in just a little bit more accurate way. At least it's a lot more visual in terms of there's a lot more charts and graphs to show your progress over time. So yeah, I'll link it, but I'm just kind of excited to roll over to the next month because I spent a lot of time in January setting up a template of how I want everything to be. Now, everyone kind of uses these things differently, and I had been talking about spreadsheets as an art form for a long time. I think that's not my skill set. Like, I come from coding and web design and that kind of stuff. But everyone has their unique specialties, and a beautiful spreadsheet that like auto populates and takes all the numbers from here and there and adds it all up and shows these charts. Like the annual dashboard is all automated. Like it's all there because of all the other calculations it's doing. And I love that I don't have to start off from scratch to do it. Now, there's people who do. People who love to just have their spreadsheet just the right way, and yay, everyone has a different way of doing it. So, I'm just kind of excited to roll that forward. I have it like prepared. So I am like filming this on the 30th, which normally I try to release these the Thursday before. But for me, I'm really trying to get as close to that reset of the month. I can't tomorrow because I want to release this on the 31st to kind of have that reset go over into the 1st. But I'm busy all day tomorrow anyways with a bunch of appointments. So this will come out on the 31st, and that's what I'm going to try to do at least for a while. And if not, I'll go back to my Thursday before. Because that's when a lot of people release theirs. Is I see like the Thursday before. I don't know. So yeah, I'm trying to get it like as close because I always have to tweak a little things like either tomorrow, like late I get all my numbers like late in the day or first thing on the first, just to try to have them as accurate as possible. And you can only be so accurate, right? So excited about that. I have been using I really wanted to kind of show my business planner, my Laurel Denise. But I found I was putting some client names in there. And if I erase them, I thought about erasing them, but it just, yeah, I think I can show February because I wrote them so much in January. I'm going to go with February and try to see. It's because there's so many different names. I can't just say like, I mean, I guess I could do client numbers, but yeah. So I'm excited to roll that over as well, but I can't show it to you. And then last year I was showing they're actually just right behind me. I was showing this one, my Magic of I, but it's definitely a lot more off limits now. I just made this purely personal because I would accidentally flip and show stuff. But yeah, I'm full swing using all three of these. This is the horizontal. And can I show just a little bit? I guess I can show a sneak peek to February. So this is what my February looks like. This is this week. I haven't put anything on it because we had a crazy birthday weekend. And so this is what I was just talking about. This I can move right now. It's kind of, so it's on next Thursday, but I'm going to move it, next month's Thursday. This is February. But I'm going to try to have the reset come out here. So it's just a day early. And then can I move this month's? Yeah. So, and I didn't really use this week here either, but I do have kind of my coding system going on. And then I'll move this guy. So I used to put marker all over this last year. I was marking, let's see, this is the day. Oh, this is the day it's coming out. That's right. So yeah, I have a bunch of appointments tomorrow. And this is working. I'm keeping it more plain. I don't have markers all over it. I used to use the red marker and just mark it off. There was the habit tracker down here, and I would track like all of my social stuff, but like right now I don't need to. I really don't need to. And this is nice that it shows like from the 1st all the way to the 31st. So I do like that change. I'm not seeing social media as a habit. I think that's what really got to me last year, was that I was looking at it, it's like, oh, I have to do it every day. And since I'm not doing that, it's very much more like having a rhythm of what day to do it. So like this is my admin day. I'm doing more podcast kind of recording here and releasing it on Wednesdays, and then having another like kind of a down day, and then recording on Fridays for the weekend. And that's working. I can't do any other filming right now other than that, because I am doing a lot of I don't know, like business building stuff behind the scenes, watching a lot of videos. I've been part of a group for a while, and I just want to get a lot more caught up with those. And I'm making a lot of headway there. And it was hard to do during like all the holidays and stuff. So, and I'm getting like my website finalized again. Websites are iterations. They're constantly changing. And when I was doing everybody else's, mine would kind of sit stagnant for a while. And that's just kind of how it goes. And that's how I am right now. That's kind of where I'm at. So, yeah. And then I did write on some other pages of that. So it's working. It's working. So let me bring you back to February. I did keep my goals. Let's go back to January. I did keep my goals rather simple. And let me put that in there just so I keep the spot. let's go over these to see how I did. Now, I briefly looked at these, but I haven't really gone over them. I am using dot markers that mostly match. I'm also using the Makselife markers here that do match, because I'm a matchy gal. I like to match. I do hope they come out with dot markers that match. I would not be surprised if they do next year. Would not be surprised. So I didn't put my little dots, so why don't we just use putting down dots as like me talking through everything. So for January, this is a really weird list if you haven't watched my previous one. It is, so teeth were, like, it was kind of a confidence builder thing. And I have kind of established that now. So I feel good about that. You know, I haven't played music for a while, but I have definitely been using my candles. So speaking of candles, I kind of like to, well, I don't think that needs trimming. I have been using this candle all of January, and I'm going to pick a different candle for next month. I definitely feel like I use this candle, let me put it up here out of the way. And whenever I smelled it for this month, I was like, oh yeah, I'm in the mode to be planning. Let's see, there we go. So like, how would I categorize these then? So this definitely done. It was getting into a rhythm of using this new toothbrush system I have. And to me, it was more of a confidence thing than health thing. That's why it's over there. Maybe now I can move it over here if I wanted to. Music, I want to push forward. I want to do that. And then candles, yes. And so there'll be a new candle next time. Yeah, I just thought that would be kind of nice to have like a new one. Oh, one more thing. I did pull a card for every single month. And so this one, I didn't write it here because I really don't reference these pages that often. I put it in this one. And I got the justice. All of your actions have a ripple effect. Are your future and past selves proud? So, selves or past self? Yeah. And yeah, I could tell, like with that influence of looking through that lens of looking at everything I did, I can kind of feel like, yeah, these things that I'm putting in place are things that I've kind of always wanted to do. And last year being such a foundational year, I feel like I'm stepping up a step. And that has been a long time coming. I think a lot of it was health driven. Getting a foundation on my health was so important. And there was a lot of fear there. There was a lot of things that I had to let go of and say, okay, we're just going to do this now. And I'm on the other side. So at least of this part of the journey anyway. The journey is always changing. So yeah, I think that feels pretty good. And then let me get this out of the way. Fun and recreation. So I would kind of move up birthday stuff here. Sorry, I'm going to have to tilt this. Because we did a bunch of B-Day activities for my son. And that was a lot of fun. And I had said I wanted to... So I play Magic the Gathering online. And, well, technically Arena. Because there's an online version in Arena, for those who know. And I thought maybe I'd have some time to build a deck in there. I have not. But I'm having a blast just using the decks that I have. And so I'm just going to skip that for now. And when I feel there's a time that I can revisit that, I will. But right now, it's not the time. I can go in. I do it every day or every other day. And it's just a little transition, like from a busy morning into my activities. It's something that I just kind of stress relieve and do for about 15 minutes every day while I'm having my coffee. The B-Day stuff was super fun. Went to a cat cafe, had little gatherings, cooked some food. It wasn't exactly how we wanted because my son ended up sick on his birthday, but I think the weekend kind of was a lot of fun after that. And so that was kind of nice to just do. And then I did watch 5 videos. So I feel really good about that. My offers I am keeping really simple. And I want to keep working on them, so I'm going to move that forward as well. I'm going to just have like 2 offers. One is just one-on-one, and one is just kind of like a one-on-one, meaning that it's multiple times a week, these little mini check-ins, which I do with most of my clients. And then the other one, I just want to kind of revamp the kind of one-off if we're talking about a specific space that I'm working on with someone. Therapy was 5 actually, she had to cancel once. So that was great. Let's see, where's my... And I do like these dots. Feel very matchy-matchy, making me happy. So yeah, we did do the cat cafe. It was very family focused. And so this was done. The trip, so actually what I did there, yeah, I'm just thinking, I set up a savings account that we were done with, and then I just kind of relabeled it with a new kind of trip goal. And then I estimated kind of like how much to put in there. And then starting in February, we're going to start putting money in there for that. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that, because it's kind of like where, when, how. No, not yet. I got to meet my new doctor, and I had a wonderful doctor the second half of last year. She was amazing. And so I'm like, I just hope I can find someone who can help me along this journey. And she did. I was really amazed, and I feel really well supported. And her biggest words to me were slow down. Like, my body is changing so much, so slowly over time that I can't just keep hopping to the next thing. I need to like let it do its thing. I have a ton of appointments. And then my son's appointments, I'll just put that here too, that we're doing tomorrow. I booked a dentist and then his regular doctor like back to back, and I am crossing fingers I get through everything tomorrow and then it's not too bad. So I might just be a little late to the next one, but I would rather him miss like a double morning like this instead of having 2 different days where he's coming in and out of school. So yes, this was wonderful. Yeah, my water's been doing pretty good. There's a few like evenings I'll get to the end of the evening, I'm like, oh, I didn't quite do it, but for the most part, I feel pretty good about it. And then the appointments tomorrow, I'll check that off tomorrow. I have been definitely flowing into biz. This is the only one that the color feels a little off. It's biz and health, kind of. I'll just leave that. So yeah, I definitely felt like I spent time on this stuff. And insurance claims. So we did get 1 of 2 done. So I should have put 2 little dots here. Now these are just, actually there was one more that came through that we were expecting in September of last year, and it finally came through. So this one got completely taken care of. This was a 9/12 one. This was an 8/3. And this is a 9/26. So these 2 completely made its way through exactly how we expected and are paid for. This is the only one that's hanging out there, but we know that this one is going to be very similar to this first one, which will be less than $40. So I find that a win, but I will have to keep my eye out for that on the next one. And that's what I'll put for the next one. Weekly food shop. Okay, this has been a thing since a year that I've been trying to, if you've been here a long time, talking about my cycles of just purchasing food and meal planning. I thought, okay, weekly shop, let's keep it smaller. I can't. I need a week or two, and I can buy, like, we have little supplemental ways to kind of like get fresh stuff in weekly. But in terms of like big stuff and food planning, I'm a 2-weeker. This is going against my nature. And that's okay. I've come to this thought of like, this is not me. This is not me. And I thought with a lot of other things being weekly now, because we're paid once a week, I thought, okay, that could naturally fall into place. I do have a day of the week, like I will order Wednesday nights for Thursday pickup. So there's that. So maybe I am weekly shopping? Wait a minute. I'm just having this thought. So yeah, like was it every Wednesday? I don't know if it was every Wednesday. That would be, see, here's a Target order. Let's see, what did I do? There's a food order I got done. There's a food, okay. Well then, so I have been, I need to define this differently then. I have been doing this weekly. I just have one order, like our Fred Meyer, which is Kroger, covers up like 2 to 3 weeks. And then we have our milk delivery, which is called Smith Brothers up here, and they deliver just milk every week. And so that we finalize on Thursdays. And then I usually go to Target for my son's lunch stuff. So yeah, and so come Wednesday, I have now this, I need to do something on Wednesday night to have things happen on Thursday. Because for us, the most availability of things is that Wednesday night into Thursday. A lot of people kind of go shopping on Wednesdays. That's when a lot of grocery stores get restocked, at least Kroger does. And so yeah, I'm doing this. And I don't need to track it anymore. I just am. That's interesting. I was not expecting that. I thought, okay, this is not for me. I'm just doing my own thing. And yeah, if there's a week where I don't have to get anything, then I still will go through that habit or that routine of looking at what we have, seeing if we need to add anything to orders. Yeah, so I am doing that. Okay. Why not? And then lastly here is put away everything for holiday, and we organized it. I usually label the outsides, so just in case we need to get out like an advent calendar at the beginning of December, we can get that out and then get the tree up later. That's the most. And then I wrote a little note to myself next year, so we definitely did all of that. Just in case, we get things out different times because they're all out in our shed. And then I got our tax papers organized and we got taxes started. I think they're halfway done. I guess that's up here. Yeah, let me do that. The organized part was that they physically are just all in a bin here to my left. And I just wanted to get them all in an envelope. And I did that. And when I separated out those two tasks of just having one is just getting all the papers in order, as in here's all the statements in date order. Here's all the car maintenance in one area. Here's all our health stuff. Here's just getting those all done, organized, so that when I can go in and do them, I know exactly where everything's at. So start taxes, and then I already filed my business taxes. So I'll do that. Yeah, those are really easy every year. As long as you have like your total revenue, you can just like do it within like a minute or two, at least here in Washington. So I did do both of those. So this feels really good. And now I see like, okay, what am I moving forward and what am I adding? So let's see, I kind of put together, this is becoming kind of my health dashboard here of like when things are happening. So I have 2 chiropractic, I have 4 therapy sessions, I have 1 GI, 1 infusion next month, and then I have my client calls. Like, yeah, that's not really health, but at least it's something I need to take a look at while I'm doing this. And then my 2 little things here that are kind of part of my yearly is cleaning our oven, so running the cleaning cycle on that, and then usually that's the day I want to keep all the doors open, and then windows open, and actually finish our taxes here. So I think I'll finish them. We do it just really early in February because we have everything, do it, move on. It was not like that in the past. As I said in my last couple videos, there were many times I was up very late, April 15th, just electronically submitting. But every year it gets a little easier because I've put things in place. And I did a whole podcast about like, what can you do right now to make next year easier? And one of the things I did last year that was so huge was naming everything in all of my trackers, exactly what I'm looking for to put on my taxes this year. So I find that exact category. I need things to match like exact. I can't have like one say entertainment and the other say streaming, or one say entertainment, one says like events or trips or anything like that. I can't have those because I'll go, oh wait, what did my brain categorize as that? So, but last year, especially for my businesses, I put exactly the same named categories as what I'm putting into my taxes. And that's what's half done. I just went through those figures real quick and I was just like, boom, 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 boom. Here's all my totals. So, because for me, I've had to do that regardless if I get my taxes done by someone or not. It's like, and that's why I just end up doing them, because I know where to plug them in. I know how everything's working. I'm not an accountant, but I almost kind of went in that direction because I have taken accounting classes, so I understand everything in business classes. But yeah. Anyway, so that's my little thing on that. So let's transfer over. I have infusions first, and then I have my GI, and then my therapies and my chiros. So I'll do that. I was going almost once a week for chiro there for a little bit, and now it's every other. And I'd like to get down to just one. But boy, do they make a big difference. Flow is going to be into health, as in infusion that week can be really hard for me, and flow into biz. And I do have some time where I'm going to be dog sitting and I'm going to be focusing on both at the same time. So that's good. So the one insurance claim. So that'll just be one, and that'll be for the 9/26 one. And I'm not going to put weekly shop because I have that as a habit. Okay, we're going to finish taxes. And I just had it on the top of my mind. So these claims go through rather well. So I want to see if I can pay those off this, because one of the bills from last month was bigger. It was expected. It was just bigger. I want to plan payoff, because I don't know if we can do it quite all during February. It's a short month too, but March is a bigger month. So there was one more thing. I'm trying to think now. I thought there was one more thing financially, because these will process. Oh, yeah. Glasses. We ordered them. I think we paid for everything on them. I don't remember if it was a deposit or everything. I thought it was everything, but we might owe another like 40 or 50 bucks or something. So we're going to get those in the next week or two, probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. And then environment, we've just been doing a lot of maintaining. And March is when our yard service comes back up. Our yard is huge and I do not have the energy to do it. So we have a yard service come. And I'm so thankful for that. I can clean the inside, or I let things slide until I can clean the outside. But that's one thing that's rather hard. Let me think about that as I transfer these on this side. So, personal music? No, I kind of want to put music down here, because I had it down here most of last year. And I want to leave that kind of open. What other fun things? February. Here's a Valentine's Day. Then I house sit. I don't know if there's anything like fun. Oh, there is a gift card here. We might want to try to use up, and that might be fun related. Outing. Okay. Yeah, I'm being a little vague about that, but that's just how it goes. Let's see. So for the group, I would like to watch like 5 more. I think 5 more would get me completely caught up. I do want to get my offers written out, and then I already filmed the videos for my website, so I just want to get them all coded in there. Oh, I guess I have therapy down here. Do I want it down here? Yeah, I guess so. So that's why I love pencil. I would rather have it look how I want it to look than, because this is kind of like body and mind. So, what else there? That might be about it. Personal, I want to think about a little bit more, because I have a feeling there's going to be something that pops up. But in terms of physical environment, what is something? Things are looking really good. We went through... There are some drawers in our living room area that I have a bunch of craft stuff for my son, and he has not used that since he was very little. I'm wondering if that and my desk drawers. Desk drawers I definitely want to put on here. And we just call them the white drawers because they're a white drawer unit. And I'll put a big question mark on that. It's kids stuff. It's kids craft stuff. He's about to go into middle school, so it's I don't think he's going to be using the Play-Doh anymore, you know? It's that kind of thing where yeah. Okay. So let's put the dots down. These are single. This is a double. And the fusion is just one. Okay, so that I can put away. Yeah, we're going to kind of split these for where my energy is going. It's the flow of energy, if you guys are a little confused. Spiritual stuff is what I do with all of my cards that I pick all the time. And let me read the card right before I go here. So, yeah, there was a card I picked at the beginning of the year. There we go. And I will read February's because I have not read that one yet. I'll do that because, yeah. This here. Finish taxes. Yep. What else? Therapy is 4 sessions. 2, 3, 4. And then these 2. That would feel really good to get those done. And then personal, I got to think about. It kind of is like this area is happening over in my Magicify. So this one has a lot of personal stuff in here and I'm just not sharing that. So I could be fine with the rest of the year of just leaving that blank, just knowing, hey, that's over in my other one. So that is how that is looking. And then I already did this weekly plan with me. So this is today. And yeah, we have just so much going on tomorrow. But this will go up then. I already have my weekly. This should be like a breakdown of these. So let me just take a quick look. So blood pressure. Ooh, that's a good one. And I want to do that. Let's get 1, 2, 3 for 1 week and then 1, 2, 3 for another week. I know one of my subscribers here, Jen, she was saying, yeah, she has to do hers like twice a day. She has definite like heart condition that she really needs to be on top of that. I'm kind of the opposite where I will try to play the numbers. My mind will want to play around with those numbers to try to control them. And so if I take them too much, it turns into a numbers game. And so multiple doctors have told me, yeah, just like spread it out. It doesn't have to be on certain days, but like 3 a week. And so I'd like to, yeah, just do that for 2 weeks because I did check in with my new doctor about that. We're on board. Nothing's going on that's crazy there. But I just want to keep my eye on it. And so that's why that is there. And keeping up with my water flow is to the same areas that I'm already wrote about. Email. Oh, there's an email to an old work that we are following up on. See, I'm actually really glad to do it in this order. This is really helping me because that'll give us the whole month to do it, but I kind of have, and see, I already have that last bill on. And then videos watching, website, podcasts specifically. I don't put the podcast over here because I just kind of do it. And then my reset I'm doing right now. I can check this off literally right now. I'll have my therapy tomorrow. Oh, the mixer. going to put that over here because that I want to sell. I've given a lot of stuff away on Buy Nothing. I got that down, but for some reason, when I think about selling on something on Facebook Marketplace, I just get more intimidated because there's money involved. So I might give myself, more than just the week, because this week's kind of starting off a little, ooh. So let me add music here and see about, that's not the right one. See if I can invite that into this next week to kind of help calm me down. And that gift card. So yeah, it's okay to work a little backwards so that you're kind of reminding yourself. When I think of weekly, I can think of like something really immediate. And when I pull back here and go, oh, here's my overall for the month, then yeah. So that feels really good. I feel really good about this. And I know that there's going to be some things that kind of move around. But for the most part, this feels good. Okay, card. The card that I picked for February. Ooh, I picked the Lovers. So this is from this deck. This is not the actual card, but it's from the Future Ancestor deck. And Lovers, call in a love that lifts your spirits, a love that embraces all that you are today and all that you will grow to be. Oh my goodness. How I remember picking that, saying like, that's amazing for February. And I'm not a big Valentine's Day person, but as I said when I was doing my spread here, but it is our get-together anniversary this month. Yeah, because I guess we were wooing around. Wooing, I don't know. Wooing each other. We were falling in love this month. Yeah. And then our anniversary's in June. So I think that's it. This feels really good. I wasn't sure because I thought, the last thing, I was trying to fill out this part. So my biggest wins this month were this coinsurance was covering things, successful B-Day, celebrations, things are working, less podcasts. I'm not doing tiny tidies. It's working for me. I'm finding some good traction in what I want to do. And that time is being filled out by other work things. Will it flop back around? It may. I'm leaving it all open. Currently not working my life. I'm not on social media much right now, and that is okay. Like, I feel really healthy about that too, because there's so many ads on there. I need to stay away. What I learned this month, slow down on health stuff for a bit, allow healing from my doctor, what improvements or adjustments. Steps forward in business. Yeah. And grateful right now. Lots of things moving forward. Like all things, I feel like if these were all the categories, they're like this. Very slowly. I'm just gently pushing my fingers forward. Just kind of all, I guess, instead of like this, where like maybe two are out in front. And neither one are correct or incorrect. Habits I want to nurture, business time, not working on weekends, which I have noticed a big shift in that. That's because I'm doing less for recording and stuff. I am seeing that I have weekends back. And that to me is important. That's why I'm filming this on a Monday as well. So trying to see when the resets fit in during the week, because I don't want to work on weekends. And then just working on biz. So, sometimes I write a whole lot in this category, but I'm feeling like it's a 9. I'm feeling good. So I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But until next time, you will see how February goes next month into March. So take care, everyone, and give yourself a pat on the back for getting this far. Like, I'm actually amazed January's over, but this was a big month of settling into things, not settling for things, settling into things, into this, for me, a step up from foundational year. Like I've had foundational years back too. Like, this feels reminiscent of other years that I've had this transition of, like, things are shaky, and then you have that kind of year where the cement is there, that you're gaining traction and then building from there. And it'll rise and fall. But right now it feels good. So take care, everyone. Much love to everybody. Thank you for even being here. Subscribe and like on your way out the door. Bye.